There are many marriages that were built on looks, fame, money. When those things is no longer there, the struggle starts.
Some men are cheating, and because of that, the ladies have decided I'm going to divorce you. Do you think cheating should make a woman divorce her husband in 2025? Tough question.
For me, I think it's unwise for anyone to base divorce on a man cheating. Being divorced is not fun. As a divorcee, when you go your separate ways as a woman, the guy can have many women, but as for you, especially if you have children, every Dick and Harry will want to come and pitch their tents in your house, because now they know that you have children, you don't have a husband anymore, so they can now be dumping their nonsense on you.
I know you are British.
Yes.
So you are the right person to ask this question. A lot of Africans moving to the diaspora,
Okay.
taking their wives. Maybe they move, and after some years, they take their wife from Africa to the diaspora. A case study of the UK.
Mm-hmm.
These ladies always look for a way to kick out these men, make sure they get them into problems and kick them out of those homes after some time. Why is it like that in the UK? It happens in America though, but we know that we've seen a lot of cases like that in the UK. So we want to know what's going on.
Okay, that's I need to really take my time to explain something so that I don't confuse people. To use your children to manipulate the father of your children is a witchcraft spirit. Manipulation spirit is a witchcraft spirit. When you get whatever happened between the two of you should not affect the children. You may have bitterness against one another. You may hate each other, but you must always consider those children, because those children has done nothing wrong, and they should not be a weapon for either of them. I was once divorced, and now I remarried. So I've been in my marriage now for 23 years. Divorce is something that nobody ever planned for. I don't think anybody went into marriage with the mindset of getting divorced. I do think that many times that we get into relationship, we get into that relationship sometimes for selfish reasons. And whatever reason, whatever that is driving you into that relationship is going to be the one to keep you there. I'm sure you will definitely have one or two to take back home.
Corn translated into together, and the fleet as in like.
It's very, very, very exciting for me to be here and to be.
Because I was surrounded by people.
I'm all about making sure other people avoid the same struggles I dealt with. You know who you are, and being prepared can change your game.
Guys, I want to introduce to you Lady Ola. Lady Ola. I don't want to tell you much about Lady Ola. Just go to the SMOPPY World podcast. You watch everything about Lady Ola. Guys, Lady Ola have books. She has written a lot of books. She's a serial author of a lot of books. Go to Amazon and get those books. Spotify and listen to the audiobooks. Lady Ola, we are so happy to have you here today.
Oh, I am super excited to be here. I'm in trouble.
Honestly, we are so happy to have you here today. It's not easy to get somebody of your personality on a podcast every day.
Oh,
honestly.
Thank you.
By the way, guys, Lady Ola is celebrating her birthday, 58th birthday. 58. If you think she's looking younger than 58, guys, comment on the comment section. Tell us what you think about the looks of Lady Ola on her 58th birthday. 58, guys, 58. Lady Ola, we want you to touch on some specific issues that are bothering the youth when it comes to marriage and family. A lot of young people, now they are scared of marriage. Divorce everywhere. You see, when marriages are broken up, when people are divorced, I think they don't go back to take accountability of what led to the divorce, what led to the breakup of the former marriage before they move into the next one. What do you have to say about divorce?
Okay, thank you for having me. And I was once divorced, and now I remarried. So I've been in my marriage now for 23 years. Divorce is something that nobody ever planned for. I don't think anybody went into marriage with the mindset of getting divorced. I do think that many times that we get into relationship, we get into that relationship for sometimes for selfish reasons. And whatever reason, whatever that is driving you into that relationship is going to be the one to keep you there. So if you go into marriage just for the sake of having children, your focus will be on those children. If you go into marriage with the mindset of I have a purpose, and whoever that I'm married to, I must help that person to fulfill the purpose. And then when we come together in marriage, we serve each other, we look after each other, we help each other to grow and become what God has made us to be. I hope it's all right for me to talk about God, right?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Because when God created Adam and Eve, He gave them their different roles. He made Adam to be, because He created Adam first. Adam was already working and building relationship with the animals and everything before God now look at him and say, this guy has not found his match. Really, all these animals, yes, he's doing a very good job, but I need to find him a helpmate. So then he looked at him and then he created Eve out of him. So which makes women to be finished products, not raw material.
Yeah.
So they started to know how their roles in relationship. When we go into marriage, one of the, for me, that I believe that was part of the failure in my first marriage was both of us didn't know our roles in that marriage. In my mind, because I grew up not seeing my parents together, so I didn't really have a role model of how a wife should behave, or how I need to treat my husband, and I didn't have that role model. My parents were divorced when I was very, very young, at the age of 6 months. So when I went into that marriage, number one, this is why I don't know who this is for, and we need to really pay attention to what I'm about to say. When I went into that first marriage that got divorced, I went into that marriage because of a need. I was living in a country where if I didn't have my papers, I would be deported. This guy came along. At the beginning, I kind of like him, so it was okay for us to do, but because he was very violent, and I already have a reason why I got into that boat. Okay, he's a violent person. He's a guy that has anger issue. Okay, maybe I can still manage him because my focus is to get that papers. So I went into that marriage with a wrong motive.
Yeah.
So I didn't put a lot into it. Like, even if the guy was bad, had his own issue, if I had gone into that marriage with the mindset of I'm here to make this marriage work, we need to grow together the same way I'm behaving and dealing with my second marriage now, which is going on smoothly. If I had the same mentality that I have now, if I had it then, the marriage wouldn't have broken. But because my motive was wrong, I went into it, with a wrong motive. Marriage is not, you have to be intentional when you are getting into marriage. It's not about what is it going to be in for me, because that is what you will get. What do you have in account? It has to be about how much you have in your account now. It has to be what kind of car that you drive. It has to be, do you have a beautiful house? All those things is what is playing today. But in my days, there was no such thing, and the difference between there and now is that people don't really want to walk into it, and marriage is work. When you are in it, you have to work it to work. That's what is missing in these days. And in my old marriage, maybe I would have made things work. Forget about the fact that I I went, I had a need and I was bent to get that papers from this guy. But unfortunately for me, this guy was an abusive person. He had his own issue. He's dealing with low self-esteem. He's insecure. He came from a broken home. I came from a broken home. Now two brokenness came together. What do you expect them to produce?
Of course, it's another problem.
Yeah. So it's another problem. But
Yeah.
So I just wanted to lay the foundation of what marriage is. Not to center your mind towards, if you cannot give me this, then there's no point for me to be here. There are many marriages that were built on looks, fame, money. When those things is no longer there, the struggle starts. So what can I say to the young ones today? I actually counsel, I coach, I nurture young people around me.
Yeah.
I always want to make sure that I'm transparent, because what they see in this generation, they only see through, just above their nose. They don't see beyond. And they only see about what they can get right now, what is happening right now, but they don't look at the long term. And it's scary. It's so scary for me today that I'm starting to worry about my grandchildren. Because it's like marriage doesn't mean anything anymore. Everybody wants to have their way. Everybody have their rules. If you don't fit into this rule, then you cannot come into my space. If this doesn't happen, then it's like we're now in the market that we have to be bargaining. Marriage is not supposed to be about bargaining. Marriage is a union of two purposes. You are created by God to have a purpose on earth. Your partner is created by God to have a purpose on earth. So when we come together, our purpose must marry. If our purpose doesn't marry, we're not supposed to be together. We shouldn't be together.
In this time of social media,
Yes,
of
sir.
TikTok and Instagram, you will see a lot of online aunties, online relatives giving advices to young people. You see a lady that is divorced at 32 or 30 giving advice online about marriages, how to be divorced, what your husband should do, and you need to divorce him very fast, and you need to come out of the marriage. And I'm thinking, do you think it's a good idea for a married woman or somebody that's hoping to get married very soon to begin to listen to such advices from people that you feel when you see them, you know they are broken or they have a lot of challenges, in their marriages, which they might be the cause of those problems? Like you rightly said, a woman that is going into a marriage just to get documents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then when that marriage is broken, she comes out of that marriage to begin to advise people online why they need to be divorced. A lot of people, they are divorced and they are pained. What do you say to those ladies that are listening to people like that?
That one is a serious issue. For me, I think we ought to watch who we listen to. We must also understand that when people are telling their stories, they don't tell you the true story. Yes, I've been divorced before, but I would never tell people to divorce their husband if their life is not in danger. Because, for example, if you are in an abusive marriage, because it was very, very abusive. There are two different ways of abuse in relationship, in marriage. You can have emotional abuse and you can have physical abuse. Physical abuse will leave you with marks on your body that people can see. Emotional abuse, people cannot see it, but it's damaging you on the inside. It's killing and destroying who you are and fighting against your purpose in life. So, yes, I was divorced before, but I would never come on and tell people, out of my own pain, tell people to divorce. Based on what? The only time that I will actually tell people, listen, it is your decision, and you will know when to exit. If your life is in danger, okay, for example, the cutoff point for me, the last straw in that, that abusive relationship for me was because this guy had this issue of insecurity. He works at night, I work during the day. We had 2 children together. So each time that he's at work, he always have this craziness in his head that somebody is home sleeping with his wife. Even with children in my bedroom sleeping on my bed. So one day he came home and I was sleeping. I just realized that I struggled out of my sleep. And by the time I opened my eyes, I saw him with a pillow that he was trying to suffocate me on the bed. And when I opened my eyes and I saw that it was not a dream, that it was actually, and I had to ask him, are you crazy? Are you okay? You want to kill me? What is the problem? And he started to cry and he started to apologize. I didn't know what come over me. Oh my goodness, I shouldn't have done that. And he was weeping. Right there, I know that if I do not do something,
Something will happen to you.
something will happen to me
Yes.
and my children will suffer.
Yeah. At that point, it's an exit point, I think.
It's an exit point. So I find a way that, we both agreed that, okay, let's separate, at least for now, but I knew that this is it for me, because many times I've been through abuse, broken his slash tongue, that United Kingdom, they don't really appreciate domestic violence against women. So many times the police has come to take him away, and I've been the one to bring him back and all. So we've had history in the police station. So when this happened, I just said to myself, if you're dead, that's it.
Yeah.
What the maximum of sentence that you could get is life, and then you'll be in jail. But when you're dead, you're dead. Your children suffer. So I had to. So if a person is in that situation, as I will still not tell them, listen, leave that man, because it is not up to me to tell you when to exit. It is you that is in that relationship, right? So it is you that knows when you can't take it anymore. That's on the side. For you to have come out of a divorce is always painful for men and for women. But most of the time, us women, we believe that we're the one that suffer most, especially if we have children, because we will take our children and then we'll have to look after those children by ourselves. That is if the man refuses to be involved. There are men that they care, they want to be involved. Yeah. So for somebody who is young, 30, 32, 35, actually you have no experience, you don't have enough experience.
Yeah.
Really to tell somebody to leave the marriage, leave the person. Because number one, that person may not be telling you the whole truth.
Yeah.
And if you're basing the judgment, if you're basing the story, because whatever you tell me is what I will base my judgment on.
Yeah.
So that
without hearing the other side.
Without hearing the other side. And this is why, for me as a person, I tread carefully when it comes to that. Because I know that many of us don't tell the true story.
Yeah.
We tell the story that will make people to sympathize with us.
Yes.
We don't really talk about what happened and how it led to whatever it led to. This is not to say that violence is acceptable in marriage. It's not.
Yeah.
But when whatever happened between 2 people that were married before and decide to go their separate ways, every one of them has story to tell. So telling somebody that they should divorce, and a young person who is not married yet, or who have just gotten married and they want to build their relationship, and then they are listening to a message like that. For me, I always say to people, it is not everything that you hear that you must take action on.
Yeah,
especially on
messages are already setting you up for failure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially on social media, because social media, as powerful and as beautiful as it is very, very destructive. It can be very, very destructive. For example, if, like you said, if somebody is listening to a message like that, They're not, number one, they may not even be willing to fight for that marriage. And sometimes that marriage is worth fighting for. And if you divorce at 32, depending on how long that person was married for, whether you got married, you were in marriage for 2 years, and then it didn't work out and you leave, and now you are advising somebody based on 2 years experience. In my first marriage that I'm talking about, I was in that marriage for 10 years. 10 good years. I suffered, I learned, I was humbled in that marriage. I believe that God did. Every night I was crying to bed, and I was crying to God, God, if you will take me out of this relationship, if you will ever give me another chance to be happy again, I will give it my best. I will give my best. Every night I was crying to bed. So, but God could have taken me out like that immediately, but He didn't. He left me there
to gain more
experience.
Yeah.
Teach me
what you should do in the next marriage.
What I should do.
If there should be a next marriage.
So when I look back down, actually, I felt I wasn't bitter when that marriage ended, because I ended it. It wasn't because I thought my life was in danger. So I didn't. But if I had to look back now, and when I talk about that marriage, I'm actually grateful to God that I actually went through that. Because if I didn't go through that, I was also broken, raped at the early age of my life, molested. I've been through a lot of things. So the guy got me broken as well. So it wasn't that I was this angel, perfect and sweet and all that. I came with my own baggage, and he didn't know how to handle me. I didn't know how to handle him. So we ended up, but God actually left me in there to teach me a lot of things, morals, commitment, and looking unto God, and just so by the time that marriage was done, I was prepared for this one. And I can tell you, everything that happened there, I brought into this one as a lesson.
Yes.
And today, when sometimes my husband wonder, am I from this planet, or am I just this angel that just dropped from heaven? I've never had anything before. It is because what happened there, the mistakes that I made there, I brought it in here, corrected, and made sure that
they don't happen again.
It doesn't happen again.
Yes. Lady Ola, some ladies will want to divorce their husband because their husband are cheating husbands. Some men are cheating. And because of that, the ladies have decided, I'm going to divorce you. Do you think cheating should make a woman divorce her husband in 2025? Tough question.
It's actually not a tough question for me, because this marriage that I'm in, I've had to deal with infidelity, unfaithfulness. But don't let me take the credit. Let me say, God has built me for this marriage. He made my focus to be, because when we started talking, I heard the Holy Spirit saying to me, you will love him like he has never been loved before. I was broken. I didn't have anybody loving me. My mother rejected me. I didn't have a motherly love. I didn't grow up with my mom. I didn't get to know my mom until I was 12 years old when my father died. So it's not that I have that motherly love like I can use to love someone else. From that moment that I've had that, you will love him like you've never loved him before, I held on to that and kept on pushing. And the more I push to love him like Holy Spirit, I should love him, the more his weakness increases. So for me, I think it's unwise for anyone to base divorce on a man cheating. I want to be really honest now.
Yes. We want you to be honest.
Yes.
Guys, by the way, if you know you want to learn more, you need to listen to Lady Ola. If you want to grow in life, you must have to listen to Lady Ola. Follow her on TikTok, Lady Ola. Follow her across other social media platforms at SMOPPY World Podcast. SMOPPY World. That's the name of her page. On YouTube, all over social media. You need to listen to Lady Ola. If you want to grow in your relationship, in your family, in your marriage, listen, you must follow Lady Ola. Yes, Lady Ola, we want you to be honest, as you have said.
When not, I don't believe that men go out intentionally to cheat on you. What I've discovered in my own love life and the men that I've dealt with and with, you know, when my marriage started and what I went through even in the second marriage, as in cheating, I realized that most men that cheat on their wives, if you pay attention enough to their background, there's something in their root. So some of them, it comes from their family background. It comes from the way they grew up. It comes from whether they were rejected or they were abused. So for example, let me use my husband as an example. When he was in maybe secondary school, he approached a lady, and that lady turned him down because he was skinny. He wasn't that masculine, and he was very shy. So that lady rejected him, and she went for his best friend. So obviously he was hot. He saw that as a rejection. So he took that in. And when he finally now became this big person, in his mind he wanted to revenge. That every woman that comes around is just going to be, jumping on them, and then jumping on them, sleep with this and leave them, sleep with that. That ego wanted to gain it back. So it became an habit that even he himself didn't know how to break away from it. It's not because when they cheat on you, it's 70% of the time, it doesn't mean that they don't love you. If when you look deep into them, they're dealing with something. If they're not facing rejection, they've been abused one way or the other. Whether their father was very, very abusive and brutal when they were growing up, whatever it is, there's something that is driving promiscuity. People don't just become promiscuous because they want to. So I want to really clarify that. So for me,
but I think some men just cheat for fun also. Just see, look at the girl. Wow, look at that girl. Very, just look at the physical appearance. Wow, I need to have this girl. I want to have fun with this girl. Look at her nice shape and nice looks.
This is what I'm trying to say. That any man that has that,
yeah,
they're dealing with an insecurity.
Okay.
There's something that is driving them. Because if we have to go with the scripture, with Bible,
yeah,
God never created two women for Adam.
Okay.
He gave Adam one woman.
Yeah.
And he gave Adam one eye for that woman. And that woman is the only eye that he gave Adam.
Okay.
So if there's a guy who is always wanting to say, figure eight, look at that behind. No, I must get under the skirt of this person. That person is being driven by a force. I'm telling you because I've dealt with couple.
Yeah.
And I'm still, because I counsel couples, so I'm telling you, I'm giving you the secret of what drives these things sometimes. So, but when that happens, listen, as a woman, now let me talk to the ladies. As a woman, that you know your purpose, you self-love yourself, you know your worth, you know what, you value yourself. When a guy cheats on you, you're married, and you went into that marriage because you love this person, and this guy cheats on you. Is it the right thing for you to leave the guy that you love and the relationship that you built for somebody else to come and take the position? For me, hell no. For me, cheating on you is something that you can actually help the guy to be delivered from that spirit, because it's a spirit.
Yeah.
It's a spirit.
Okay.
That behavior, it's a spirit that comes onto a man, even women.
But Lady Ola, men mostly they are moved by what they see. It might not be a spirit. I just see something nice. I say, wow.
You think us women we're not moved by what we see?
No, women, they are moved by what they hear. So you can just deceive a woman by telling her, I'm going to buy you a Lamborghini, even you're not going to buy her a Lamborghini, but just say you're going to buy a Lamborghini.
Sir,
And she's going to fall for it. But men, once we see, oh my God.
You know that before you open your mouth to say, as a guy,
Yeah.
before you open your mouth to a lady to say, I'm going to buy you this, when the lady sees you, for me, when I see a guy, I can tell you his worth.
Okay.
It's a gift.
Yeah.
And a guy can dress up all the way. He can have all these things on, and I can tell you that this one is fake. Those things does not belong to him.
Okay.
This is a deceiver. I can tell you that. But we can all look and say, I want to be with this guy. For example, when my husband came, the first day I set my eyes on him, we were in the church. We're having a night vigil service. And he had a testimony that I wanted to give in the church. And he took the microphone. He stood there in front of the congregation. And I just look at him, from his Cartier glasses to his Gucci watch and to all the designer that he was wearing. There was just something about him that was just clean. His appearance, his face, his person. Before he even opened his mouth, I said to myself, why can't this guy be my husband? Little did I know that I was actually proclaiming.
Yes, your miracles with your mouth.
With my mouth.
Yes.
So we can look at a man as a woman as well to say, this guy is fine. This guy my kind of guy, and this actually most of the time gets us into serious trouble, ladies. It gets us. So back to what you said, that okay, a guy just like to see figure eight and then just want to
the physical features.
and
attracted to it. Let me test this and see.
If a guy is doing that, there's a driving force.
Okay.
And I don't really want us to move away from the question that is he good enough? Is cheating on your guy cheating on you, is he a ground for divorce? Should you divorce your guy because he's cheating on you?
In one sentence, what is your answer?
My answer is no. If you really want that man, my answer is no. Because you can turn that guy around, because I did with mine.
Research have shown that a lot of ladies that are divorced because their husband were cheating, they are now side chick to another married man. Don't you think that in most cases this was happening? Because no young guy that is, in most cases now, young guys that have never been married before, that don't have any prior experience on marriage, surely will not go and marry a single mother with 2 or 3 kids. In most cases, they don't do that. So they end up being side chick to another married man that will be cheating on them, on their wife, with them also.
Isn't that?
So this is the experience that we've really seen.
Isn't that irony? That possibly you divorce your husband because he was cheating on you. Then now you are a divorcee. Now you became a side chick to a married man. And then that person is cheating on his wife.
That's what's happening.
What a crazy world we live in.
Yeah, that's what's happening right now.
What a crazy world we live in.
Because you see, ladies, when they are married, they always think that it's better outside. In most cases, they think that it's better outside. They think there are a lot of guys. If you leave now, 20 people are on my DM, they want to marry me. But actually, they want to marry you because you are in a marriage. When you are out of your marriage, you see that those people that are sending you DM that they want to marry you, they are not serious about it. Until you leave your marriage, that's when you're going to know that there's something that these people were not telling me. It's not sweet outside. The young ladies outside is cold. There's no husband there, Guys, by the way, if you want to get more advices on your relationship and your marriages, guys, broken marriage is always not a better option. You can slide into Lady Ola's DM. Maybe you'll be lucky for her to respond to your message and she will give you some advice. Maybe you'll be lucky. So, guys, go to Lady Ola's page and follow her.
Let me look at this because it sounds crazy. But what I want to first of all say though, I want to let people know that being divorced is not fun. As a divorcee, when you go your separate ways as a woman, the guy can have many women, but as for you, especially if you have children, every Dick and Harry will want to come and pitch their tent in your house because now they know that you have children, you don't have a husband anymore, so they can now be dumping their nonsense on you. Because when I got divorced, this was one of the things that made me to say, Lord, I messed up. I know I've messed up, but you have to be merciful to me. You have to give me another chance. Because when I look at, I was single. I was a single parent for 2 years. 2 years after divorce, I was single. And I can tell you, the kind of men that was talking to me, approaching me, because I'm a divorcee. They were men that on a good day, they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And it's because I have now been titled as a divorcee.
Yeah.
Oh, now, especially if, I mean, in an African setting.
It looks like they're doing you a favor also. But
Exactly. That's where you start to pay for their fuel for their car. You buy them food. They come to your house. They use your internet. They use everything. And at the end of the day, they get down with you, and then they use you as a bus stop that they can come and go. I don't think people realize the pain that it takes away your sanity when especially when oh God, this is why I don't understand why somebody will be a divorcee and will want to be a side chick to a married man. Because this married man will come, do everything that he has to do with you, then go back to his wife. You're still left alone.
Yeah, but it's only a married man that's going to come to a divorce. A young guy that's never been married before, in most cases, if he's serious mind, is a responsible man, he will not go to a divorce. A lot of young girls are out there looking for husbands.
And there are also, let me correct that a little bit. There are young ones who prefer to have someone who has children and who was once married because they consider them to be experienced and mature.
Yeah, but in rare cases.
In rare cases, yeah.
Not like the way ladies are painting it out there, like, once you divorce your husband, you just come out, we just get another husband, the young guy.
Oh my, all this is based on ignorance. Because if you have never been there, you will never know what the people that have been there are going through.
Yeah.
And if you have been there and you're giving advice to the young ones who have never been there, then you're damaging them. Because you should be able to tell them the lonely nights, the time when you come home from work and nobody to help you to attend to your children. You have to do this, take care of the children, you have to take care of the bills, you have to take care all those things. You're not adding them together to let them know that, listen, yeah, the guy may be promiscuous, he may be ladies' man, but if he step out, if you ever leave that marriage, these are the things that you need to be prepared for. Are you willing to do this? Because if you don't prepare for it, it will break you, and you will be, men. It's not that easy to get a relationship like that, especially a serious one that will actually honor you, take care of you. And people these days, really, let me be truthful. People these days don't want to take on somebody else's old baggage.
Ladies out there, take this advice from Lady Ola at 58. It's a birthday gift for you if you want. Honestly, it's a birthday gift for you, my viewers, if you want. Take this advice from Lady Ola at 58. Lady Ola, we are very happy we have you here in the studio today. We are going to get a man also to balance the other side of it.
Yeah.
But for now, let's look at it from your own side, because the ladies, we need to advise them. A lot of them have been sending me different messages. And I have a lot of questions here also that they've asked me to ask you when I have you,
Okay.
But if I ask all of them today, I don't want to stress you too much, Lady Ola. But one of the questions I want to ask you, I know you are British.
Yes.
So you are the right person to ask this question. A lot of Africans moving to the diaspora,
Okay.
taking their wives. Maybe they move and after some years they take their wife from Africa to the diaspora. A case study of the UK. These ladies always look for a way to kick out these men. Make sure they get them into problems and kick them out of those homes after some time. Why is it like that in the UK? It happens in America though, but we know that we've seen a lot of cases like that in the UK. So we want to know what's going on.
Okay, that's I need to really take my time to explain something so that I don't confuse people. When a guy brings his woman to a place like United Kingdom, and they were married before in Nigeria, let's just use Nigeria as a
or in Africa, anywhere in Africa.
Anywhere in Africa.
Yeah.
We have culture that is different from the culture that they have back in United Kingdom. Our culture, they've been married in that culture. The culture that says you honor your husband. The culture that says husband, whatever, in some culture is the one that gives the order in the house. Everybody, most of the time, is the one that goes out to work.
In most cases, in the African context.
In most countries. So in Africa, so they consider them to be breadwinner. So mostly, sometimes women don't have much to bring back home. Now you brought that woman to United Kingdom, for example, into a system that favors women, into a system that doesn't believe that a man should be controlling over a woman. You brought that woman into a country where when you guys were in Africa, you can slap her, beat her, and nothing will happen. Nobody will say anything, because in some African countries and in some tribes, it has become a norm that you can beat your wife and your wife can go to the kitchen and cook you food and bring it to the table and serve you there. So the man always have upper hand in Africa. Now they have moved to a country where that is the opposite.
The lady now knows her right.
Now the lady, before the lady who knows her right, unless you keep that woman in the house, that she doesn't go anywhere. That unless that woman is always staying home, she doesn't have no friends, she doesn't go to church, she doesn't go to mosque, she doesn't have any interaction with anybody, then you can still get away with those things. Those things can still work. But if that woman ever steps out to go to work, mixed with British people, mixed with different nationalities, start to see that really it was wrong for this man to be beating me, then their problem has started.
Okay.
And each time somebody you've been slapping before, and then she will even come back and say, I'm sorry, even without him, I had not been the one at fault. And now you do that. Now she has known her right. She will tell you.
She's no longer sorry.
She's no longer sorry.
Yeah, everybody have to.
She's no longer sorry. So she now wants to stand up to you, and you as a man who has always seen her saying sorry in Africa, you've always seen her as she's humble. She's an humble person, or humility. When she now stands up to you, she bruises your ego. She diminishes your manhood. So the crisis starts. I am not in support of any woman. It doesn't matter what they do. To go ahead and make the man that brings you into that country. Some of them have done it to deport them. Because I used to live there before we moved to Dubai. So I can tell you that I've seen many, many cases that women have put some men in jail. And this is coming from being violent and all that. So it is, this is the reason why this is happening. Because now they know their rights. And I hope someone does not have his wife in Nigeria and say, we'll never bring that woman to United Kingdom.
Yeah, but that's the case now. All the men now, I think everybody now, right now, because of this situation, men in the diaspora, they leave their wives back home. They don't want to bring their wives anymore because of this situation now. To me, I want to ask you, what do you think that is a solution to what do you have to say to the ladies or the men so that men can still live in harmony with their wives in the diaspora instead of leaving their wives back home and they live in the diaspora separately for 5-10 years?
Another thing that could be happening is because if we build relationship, if you and I were friends before we got married, that we're very close or we are friends, I won't do that when I get to United Kingdom, because I've never seen you as a controller. We have always been the parties that we've always understand each other. There's no way that kind of relationship will get to diaspora, and then that will happen.
Okay.
So it has always been a relationship where it's either is the parent that is controlling the marriage, that the girl now says, oh, finally she has a breathing space, and then she can be left with her husband. And the husband may not even know how to have been handling his wife back home, because his parent is always running to his parents. So there are different situations, sir. There are different examples and different situations. But this is what I want to say. You having children for somebody is not gonna be enough or stop a woman not to put you out. If that happens, if you bring them to diaspora, the solution to that, for me, if you find somebody that you really love, that loves you, getting them out of Africa is not the first thing that you do. You yourself, you must first of all balance yourself wherever you are. When you balance yourself, when the communication that you guys have, and you must always have, this is where I love our culture. If you have a man or a woman who doesn't have somebody that they fear, that they honor, that when you say, I'm going to tell your mom, or I'm going to tell your dad, or I'm going to tell whoever, and they're no remorse, or the mother or the parents are always behind the woman, then you have a problem.
But that's one major problem of marriages in Africa. But I don't want to bring that to you today. Maybe if we have the privilege of having you another day, we are going to deal with that. That's a very big one. The relationship between father-in-laws and the daughter-in-law, or the mother-in-law and the son-in-law. You know, that relationship is very big.
Yeah.
It's one of the major causes of divorce.
Yeah.
But I don't want to bring that to you today, because if we bring that now, we're going to go very far. There's this question I want to ask you also. You see, using the kids to manipulate the marriage. So when a woman is divorced, she decides to use the kids against the man. If you don't give me 1 million, or if you don't give me 50 dirhams, or if you don't give me $5 next week, you will not see your kids again. What do you think about that? Because now some men are saying that, okay, fine, if you don't want to give me, if I'm not going to give to you, and because of that, if I'm not going to see my kids, then it's fine, take them and go. And at the end of the day, the kids are not going to get the actual training, the actual upbringing they were supposed to get if they had their fathers in their life.
To use your children to manipulate the father of your children is a witchcraft spirit. Manipulation spirit is a witchcraft spirit. when you get whatever happened between the two of you should not affect the children. You may have bitterness against one another. You may have, you may hate each other, but you must always consider those children, because those children has done nothing wrong, and they should not be a weapon for either of them. Either is the wife or of the husband. It should not be a weapon that you use against, especially I know I've seen women, because they know that this man loves the children so much, so they capitalize on that. Listen, let me say this to the man. If you are the man, if you are the man that your wife is using the children to manipulate and stop you from seeing those children, I need you to be courageous. I need you to man up, and I need you to say, you know what, it's all well and good. You go take care of those children. Because let me tell you guys, my guys, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much we take those children away from you. One day, those children are gonna come looking for you. And to be honest, if a woman is threatening you to use the children for stopping you from seeing your children, she's just doing you a favor of freelance. Enjoy your life. Go ahead and have fun, because she wants to carry all the burden. Let her be. And I'm telling you, because I've seen it happening in my family, and I've seen it happening around me. Those children, if you are the father, they will come looking for you. That should not be something that you should allow any woman to manipulate you, because that's a witchcraft spirit. Okay, now let me talk to our women. Listen, sister, using your children to manipulate your husband, your ex, whatever you call him, the father of your children, you're doing that out of ignorance, because it is you that you're going to deal with the stress, the pressure, and the bitterness that is in you. You're going to pass it on to those children. And then the way you see your ex, and the bitterness and the anger that is in you, you're passing it to that children. You're teaching those children to be bitter in future. Now, whether you're raising boys or you're raising girls, now you're telling the girls that it's okay for them to have that spirit. It is not the right spirit. You should not use your children as a weapon, because you know that this man loves those children. And number two, you are taking their God-given right, the God-given right of those children to have a father. You're taking away from them, and God will not forgive you for that. I mean, they may not call me back here again, but I'm gonna say the truth.
No, but Lady Ola, you know, with this information you've given now, I tell you, a lot of ladies are going to come and drag you on the comment section.
Okay.
For you to have said that the kids are going to go back to their father.
Because they
so
I
just hope that Lady Ola, you have a thick skin for the comments, because for that one they are going to come.
Well,
but it's just the truth.
It's the truth, though.
And ladies there, the truth is that is Lady Ola's gift for you at 58. So take that from Lady Ola at 58. Experience is the best teacher.
Yeah, it's the truth, though, because the moment we start to tell ourselves the truth, we start to get deliverance. Because we, as a woman, we're already doing too much. Now a man wants to help you to at least be in the life of those children, but the bitterness of whether he cheated on you, he left you, or whatever, but that bitterness is not allowing you to see that the help that you need, you're actually getting is madness. You need that help. You need to let that man help you, whichever way he can help you. And don't use that as a weapon. Never use your children as a weapon to get to your husband. What is money? God will provide you money. He will give you strength. You make your money. The children, listen, women, what if that man dies? If he dies, would you not take care of your children? You will take care of the children. So why using your children as a weapon for the man, for me, it makes no sense. I don't see any sense in it because I didn't do it. I actually, as bitter and as abusive and as mad as I was, from the moment that guy left the house and I changed the lock, I never for one day tell my children how evil, how bad their father was. Because they were young.
Yeah.
5 years old, 7-year-old. My daughter saw me being beaten. All those abuses, she saw me. But I never for one day tell her and say, your dad was this. I always let them know that everyone has their own flaws. We all have our own faults. We all have our own weakness. If he knew better, I would do better. So I did not create enmity between him and his children. And this is what we do most, women. When we are bitter, when we've come out of that relationship, the divorce and whatever, the bitterness, we let it affect those children. We let it come between those children and their father. It's a wrong thing. It's the same thing with men. Some men also do it. That they want to use their bitterness to let it come between them and the kids. It's wrong. Both whether you are a woman or you are a man, none of us should do that. Those children, we should come together for the sake of those children. We should raise them. We don't have to be under the same roof. We don't have to be friends, or we don't have to be lovers. But for the sake of those children, we can co-parenting without any issues. Our focus can only be on those children.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Lady Ola. By the way, before we go on this, I know you are a beauty consultant.
Yes.
But apart from that, what is the secret? In one sentence, what is the secret of being young at 58? Because this I want to know, honestly. Looking young and good at 58. I want to know, what is the secret?
I can say I have 3 secrets.
Okay.
That's behind this young looking. Number 1 secret is God.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 2 is I am in a marriage that is so peaceful. I'm having a good time in my marriage. So it's my husband doesn't stress me. Number 3, I'm a fitness enthusiast.
Yeah.
I don't joke with my health. I'm in the gym 6 days a week, running 7 miles every morning and doing all stuff. So those are the 3 secrets that's behind my young looking.
So if you want to look like Lady Ola when you get old, you can 2 of those secrets I think somebody can copy.
Yes.
So you can copy being a child of God.
Yes.
And then you can copy going to the gym.
Yes.
But having a good husband, that I don't think that somebody can copy that.
It cannot be copied. It cannot be copied. The reason why it cannot be copied is you cannot. It's you have to choose. Let me rephrase that. You have to let God be the one that chooses for you when you want to choose a partner.
Yeah, but if you already choose the bad partner, you're already in it.
Well, if you're already in
so you're going to get old very fast for sure.
Yeah, if you're already in the relationship where you already have a partner, you are already married, and the marriage is stressful, it will wear you out. It will make you age, and this is why for me, I create peace in my own home.
Yeah. So it's possible to create the peace
yes,
for yourself
you
as
can,
a woman.
Yes, you can create peace in your own home. You can create peace in your environment. You can choose what to overlook. You can choose what to see to. You can choose what to. I don't. Not everything that my husband does that I'm actually happy with. But
you need to adjust.
I overlook them.
Yeah.
I let the good part of him outweighs the bad part of him.
And that's a very good advice to take, ladies out there.
that has really helped me, because sometimes we are the one that are aging ourselves. Little things that are not important, we turn on the light on it and we'll be dwelling on it, sleepless night. I would not go to bed and have a sleepless night because of what my husband did today or yesterday.
They say to have it, to get it, if you want to be in a peaceful marriage, everything that happened today need to end today.
Today.
And tomorrow is another day.
It's another
so that,
day.
Because if you take something that happened today and you take it to bed,
Yes.
it will keep growing. The anger will keep coming.
Yes, it will. And forgiveness is the key.
Yeah.
Forgiveness
Always forgive your partner.
Yeah, it's a gift
To
by
both
God.
party though.
It's a gift by God though.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is a gift. To have a forgiving spirit is a gift from God, because if you learn to forgive, all these things will not matter. You just overlook things, and then before you know it, it's gone. Because especially when you have a guy who is a ladies' man, somebody said to you today, "Oh, I saw your husband somewhere with another lady." They came to you, they tell you that they saw him, but you didn't see him. But that news you kept in, and you behaving and reacting to it without asking, laying on the table, this is what happened, this is what happened, and then move on. Until even when you see him with your own naked eyes, you have to look deep. Is my marriage worth throwing away?
Forgiveness has broken a lot of marriages. Lack of forgiveness.
Yeah.
Women not forgiving their man, men not forgiving their ladies. It has led to a lot of divorce.
Forgiveness is the key. If you really want to have a peaceful and happy home, you've got to have it.
Yeah.
So,
the questions are too much. I don't want to wear you out, but I hope that we'll be able to have you here.
Yeah.
Again.
Anytime I'll be here.
My fans, if you want us to have Lady Ola, just drop your questions on the comment section. The next questions you want her to treat.
Yes.
We pick the ones that are responsible and we bring them to her so
Yes.
that she can look into them. We look for a way to get her back to the studio. Lady Ola, women, they say, the husband's money is the family money, it's our money. But their own money is her money. You understand what I'm trying to say? Your money is our money, but my money is my money in a marriage. What do you think?
Nobody should have money that is their money.
Okay.
Because when you come together, you become one. I'm dealing with a lot of marriages now that money is their problem. As husband and wife, they have different accounts. As husband and wife, you need to have a common account. I'm not saying it's wrong for everyone to have separate accounts, but you must always have one common account that takes care of things in the house. You want to pay bills, car notes, and all those things. You must always have one common account. So if you have an account, separate account, business account, whenever we have need that we don't have enough in the common account, I am the first one to say, let's go use this money and let's cover this. A woman that will say, the husband money is for family money, but my money is to keep. I don't know if I should say that person is not a virtuous woman. I don't think many women want to be that person. And sometimes when they found themselves becoming that person, something pushed them there.
Yeah, because you see a lot of ladies now, when they are married, their money is meant for them to support their mother, their father, their brothers, their sisters, yeah? But the husband's money is for paying of the bills, paying the rent, paying the water bill, paying the dewa bill, paying all the bills they need to pay. But all the money they make on their own, they need to save up to send their brother to Canada, they need to save up to give to their mother, to build a house for their brother, things like that. And I see that that's breaking up a lot of marriages also.
I will talk about me. I got married in United Kingdom. And United Kingdom, we have a lot of bills. We have council tax, we have rent, we have water bill, we have gas bill, insurance, everything. I'm a person that I was independent. I already made my money, have my own car, have my own house before I met this guy. So I was already doing things by myself. So when he came on, it was what you just said now. my money was what was taking care of the home. His money, he was sending it to Nigeria to take care of his parents. And it never bothered me because my both parents were dead. But that's me. But if you have a home that you're building as a family, if that love is strong enough, if it's a genuine love, if truly you understand the principle of marriage, there should be no separation anywhere. Whether money or anything, there should be nothing that you have to say this is mine and this is not. For a woman, for me to go on the, to be on the side of our women as well. Some of them, they've seen a lot. To really be on their side this time around. Some of them, they've seen a lot where our men treat them like they are nothing. So every money that they have, they are saving it. Or sometimes whether the woman have seen the way the man is lavishing his money and all that, so that woman will want to keep her money for rainy days. And there are many women who doesn't like to come to the man and ask for every penny. She still have a mother, she still have father, she has maybe have siblings, junior siblings that are looking up to her, that she needs to take care of them. There are different reasons why people do that. But the bottom line is, I do not think you can call that marriage if your money is to be saved and your husband's money is to be spent.
Yeah.
For me, I think it's act of wickedness.
Lastly, before we let you go, Lady Ola, there's a big challenge in the diaspora, a case study of Dubai,
Okay.
where young ladies moving to the diaspora, they leave their kids back home
Okay.
for their grandmother to take care. So you see a lot of our young ladies that are here in the diaspora, they already have 3 kids, 4 kids. They are not married. Some of them are single moms. Some of them were married before. Some of them were not married at all. And they leave the kids back home for the grandmothers or their mothers to take care of those kids. And they move here. Now, don't you think that a case study of the girl child, that is leading to a lot of teenage pregnancies in Africa?
It is.
So what I'm trying to say is, when the girl leaves the child, the girl child is her age, she's coming of age like to the point of 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Within that time, the mother or the grandmother is already 90, or the mother is already 60, the grandmother. Yeah? She don't have control over that child. What do you think about this? And what do you think that these ladies in the diaspora should do? Because at last, the kids are their future. And that's why they are here working.
I was left in the hand of different people because my father and my mother got divorced. Because my mother left, she walked out of the marriage for good reasons. And my father was upset. In those days, it's a taboo for a woman to walk out of marriage. So she bruised his ego, and he went after my mother and took me from 6 months old I was. My father didn't know how to boil kettle, not to talk of how to make food. He had no idea of how to raise a child. So he took me, and he had different women because it was a ladies man. So he was trusting me with different people as a young child. It was through that process that I was abused, molested, raped at the age of 6. I needed to tell that story so that somebody can pay attention and listen. it's not so bad to leave a male child in the hand of a family member. But to leave a girl child in the hand, whether it's grandmother or grandfather or uncle or aunties, because you have no idea the evil that is in this world. How you have no idea what they're doing to that child. You don't know what that child is dealing with. I don't care how much money you're making. I know that we always say, oh, we're here because of the children. If we didn't come to Dubai, if you came to Dubai because of these children so that they can have better life. What life would a child have when at a young age she has been molested, raped, and you knew nothing about it? For me, if you are a mother, you would not leave. Maybe because I experienced that growing up, and it was not a pleasant experience, which made me to be really, really angry with my mom when my dad died, that I had to go and live with my mother, that I made her life miserable for leaving me. And I didn't know, because my father never told me that she actually took me away, that we went after her to take me back. I thought she abandoned me, because that was what my father told me. So that was what made me to really make my mother's life miserable, because I look at every person that has digged their hand in me as a child, that if my mother was there,
That will not happen.
that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So whether you're making $100 million, you're making that million for you. Because if you're making it for that child you're not around that child to see, for that child to enjoy it. You may be buying her things, she may have all the gadgets and everything in the world, but motherly love, you're shielding that child, making sure that child is protected, and it's not there. Whoever that you're leaving your child or your children with, they will never treat them right like their own mother. A lot is going on. There are perverted men, even in the family, that because you're not there, they take advantage of those children. For me, I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I'm just telling you the implication of what that is. So everybody has to make decision on how they live their lives, on how they raise their children. But I'm telling you that those children, if they don't have the right mother, they don't have their mother around them. It's not about talking to them every day, because sometimes when you're talking to them, even their abuser will tell them, if you ever tell your mother, you will see what I will do to you, because I was told that. If you ever tell your dad, I was told that. So
But if
I
the
was
mother's
afraid.
presence is around,
If
it will make an impact.
Yeah, they would not even try it.
Yes.
When I started having children, I said to myself, I will never let my children out of my sight. They never went to go and have no sleepover in anybody's house, because I experienced it. When my brother come into my house, as my daughter was 4 years old, when my brother come, because she's like me, she loves people, and she will go and want to sit on my brother's lap, I will get up and said, you will never sit on his leg.
Yeah,
There
because
is chair,
even if
seat.
he's a relative,
That's
that is
my
how
blood brother.
Yeah, but that's how that
Yes,
get the interest of
yeah,
doing
exactly.
things.
I said, you would never sit on the chair, and my brother understand.
Yes.
But he just didn't know that, I went through that, as a child. And that was what was driving me, that I protect my child. So as a mother, God has, you give back to them, you carry them, you give back to them. And I know that you want to really, really, give them the best. My prayer is that you have a man, a husband that will be a man that God has created for you, that will love you enough and love your children, that you have a family. Listen, there's no family that's complete without a man. And no home is complete without a woman. And it's never easy for anyone, that whether we are a single parent, that you are a woman single parent, or a male single parent, it's never good enough for those children. Children that are raised in a family that has a father and a mother I can tell you the difference, the way their life is, and the one that's raised by single mother or single father.
Yes. Lady Ola, I want you to just speak directly to ladies, because a lot of ladies here in Dubai are facing this situation whereby their kids are back home. Their girl child, 12, 13, 15, 17, 19 are back home. And they are here hustling and struggling to make ends meet for them. What is your advice to them? What do you think they should do? Because at the same time, maybe they will not be able to go back home and go and live back home because of the situation. But what do you think is a way forward for them?
Let me start with this. God has committed into our hands lives, and these are the children. If you bring a child into the world, you are responsible for them. You are responsible to create an environment of love. You are responsible to create an environment of peace. You are responsible to create an environment where those children will feel safe around you. But when you're not there, that child is missing. Well, I don't know what your situation is. And I'm not going to tell you this is what you should do. But what I'm going to say to you is, you need to consider that child first. If you have never been abused before, growing up, you had both your parents, and then circumstances brought you to Dubai, that you had to leave your children behind wherever you came from in Africa or wherever you are from. Those children, you must know that those children are your priority. And it's not about gifts. It's not about the money you spend on them. It's about the quality time you have with them. It's about them growing up. How do you teach your own child morals? How do you teach your own child the right thing to do? How do you teach your own child that when a guy touches you, this is what it means? How do you protect them from being abused? We live in a world today where there are many broken girls. There are many broken women. There are women who... Have you ever wondered why we have so much women in psychiatric hospital? Is because many times life doesn't favor us. And I know that your situation is difficult. I know that you found yourself in this situation. But if you're finding it difficult to go back to your country, find a way to bring that child. If you cannot bring that child, my dear sister, my dear friend, my dear mothers, Dubai is not the only country that you can live and be fulfilled in life. Because at the end of the day, when you have made all the money and your child grew in the hand of a stranger, you might say, oh, but it's my mother that's taking care of them. As far as they are concerned, your mother did not carry them in her womb. You did. They are strangers. But you as a mother, because there's something that God has placed on the inside of us as mothers. It's a mother's instinct. You can easily sense when your child is about to go through danger. It's in you. My prayer for you is that God will give you wisdom. And it will open door for you. It will allow you, it will help you to correct things. Because that child is your glory. And whatever happened to that child, it will affect you. And please, whatever you've been through, don't allow your child to go through it. I know your parents may not be there when you're growing up, your father may not be in the picture, but please, learn from what happened around you and give your child the best life that they can have.
Guys, with this, we've come to the end of this podcast. If you want to talk to somebody about issues like this, about issues concerning marriage and family, about relationship, very deep issues, if you have responsible conversations and you want to talk to somebody about it, follow Lady Ola's page on TikTok, Lady Ola, and on YouTube and other social media platforms, the SMOPPY World Podcast or SMOPPY World. Send her a DM If you are lucky, and we pray you will be lucky, she will respond to you and help you, give you advices that could solve your problem. Guys, if you have questions that you want us to bring her back to the studio to talk about, feel free to come to the comment section and drop your responsible comments, and we'll bring her back to the studio, hopefully, to talk to you once more. Thanks, guys. Follow all her social media handles. I'm going to tag it on the post.